Welcome to the Jeremiah Show. Got another great, exciting show for you guys this Friday morning, with NBC's Hot Wheels Ultimate Challenge. We premiered for the first time last week on the show, and a lot of great comments, and happy to have you guys here today. More exciting though, I've got the Mustang brothers Cody and Preston Ingrassia. They live in Chicago. They're from NBC's Hot Wheels Ultimate Challenge. 4 decades of experience amongst the crew there. And they're part of the Carpool. You're in the Carpool lane probably right now listening to this. You're on the 101 or you're on the freeway. They're stuck in traffic. And I've got the Carpool for you now. Who are the Carpool, you may ask? They are the auto experts bringing the Hot Wheels Ultimate Challenge builds to life. And without them, without the Carpool's expertise, none of the competitors could come close to snagging the ultimate prize. And while host Rutledge Wood and the judges, celebrity guest judges, and competitors are, of course, important cogs in the engine here, the show would be impossible without the Carpool. Again, this incredible group of automotive experts who have come to NBC's Hot Wheels Ultimate Challenge to help bring the competitors' designs to life. They're trying to snag the ultimate prize, which is $50,000. And I think I'd just take this. The design of their car, their Hot Wheels car, being turned into a real Hot Wheels die cast. That's pretty cool. So if you haven't seen the show yet, you got to check it out. It's on NBC, and we got the Mustang brothers here today. Welcome, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Do you always speak in unison?
Absolutely.
Are you guys twins? You kind of look like twins. Oh, you are right. Twins.
Yep.
That's amazing. So if you can't see them obviously on the radio here, but check them out on the YouTube channel. These guys are still working, man. They took a quick break for me to check in with them. You had a lot of success on the show. Congratulations. But I kind of gave a brief overview of the Carpool, but tell me in your own words, guys, what do you do there? What do you do on NBC's Hot Wheels Ultimate Challenge?
So what we do is we take the idea from the superfan, and it's her idea of what her Hot Wheel wants to look like in real life. Now we'll go ahead and we'll break that down and figure out how to modify that car for her vision.
Okay. And how do you do that? Like, what are some of you just find that, I mean, you tell me, you find parts, it's a little bit like what you do at Mustang restorations, right?
So a lot of it is the custom fabrication of it. A great example is just this Tuesday, we were showing building the Corvette, and we had to put a roof on this thing. Well, you can't weld the fiberglass. So Preston and I used our skills that we do here at Mustang Restorations, and we built a frame underneath it, and we just went to town and built a complete roof that Corvettes never came with. We're trying to make these things look like giant life-size Hot Wheels, and in order to do that, you got to do the impossible, and you got to go over the top. And that's exactly what we did. And we're coming for the win too. So like that had a Chevy motor in that Corvette, but we're the Mustang brothers. So we put a giant supercharged V8 Ford engine in that thing. And man, that thing looked ridiculous.
So yeah, explain that part of it. So these aren't cars that are street legal, or, I mean, explain a little bit of the background. I think everybody out there has probably had a Hot Wheel or played with a Hot Wheel in their life, right? Especially when you're a kid, you had that imagination with that car, or cars that you loved, and you dreamed about your own Hot Wheel, right? So that's where this show comes in. It brings back that dream for big kids like us, right? to build a Hot Wheel. But explain about the car a little bit. I mean, it could be anything, right? It's whatever you can imagine that you wish your Hot Wheel looked like.
Yeah, so that's what Hot Wheels is all about, imagination. doing things that come to the mind that doesn't seem real, and let's make it real. And that's exactly what we were doing over there. We were making our imagination and our super fans' imagination come to life. And so all the cars, they did run, even though they didn't look like they ran. They all ran on standalone systems. They didn't drive until you got to watch the final episode. It'll be a 3-car build-off, and part of the deal is we have to drive them onto the stage. So the last build, all 3 of them cars do actually drive.
So they have to run. They just don't have. You probably would get pulled over if you pulled them out onto the the 405.
Totally see. It looks like it's going 300 miles an hour standing still.
Yeah. So what? I mean, how much does your imagination come into play in this build? I mean,
brings it full circle. I mean, Cody and I here, we grew up around Hot Wheels as little kids. We were taking Hot Wheels apart at 5, 6 years old and swapping engines, swapping bodies. So to be on camera in real life, oh man, it was a blessing come true.
And we built a lot of custom stuff here. We've built the first Mustang limousine. We cut a 66 Mustang limo. We stretched it 22 feet. We do tons of custom stuff. We lift trucks to the sky. I've got a monster truck I drive here on the streets of Chicago. Completely illegal. I get pulled over all the time. But it's all about the imagination. It's all about the fun of it. If you can do it, you can build it. Or dream it, you can build it. And that's what we're all about.
Well, where is that Mustang limousine, the first Mustang limousine ever built? Where is that now? Do you know?
It's sitting here in our showroom.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
All right, so I got too excited. I got ahead of myself. Let's get to know you guys a little bit, and your business, because I love the idea. My first, I think, real car that I fell in love with, and you guys will probably laugh at me because I don't know the year, but it was a Mustang Shelby fastback, right? Mm-hmm. And is that right? Do I have all 3 of those put together correctly? And my friend, I'm going to give him a little shout out, Chris Martin up in Priest River, Idaho. We used to drive, his dad owned it. It was restored and just the most beautiful car. And I talked about it on the last week's show when we talked to Jersey Jim and Arusha on the show. And they had when I talked about the smell of the gasoline and the car idling, you know, that sound that a Mustang Shelby makes. Is it Shelby or yeah, Shelby. Yep. Yeah. It's pretty amazing, right? I mean, you guys just love what you do. Tell me about that.
So what we do is all passion. We don't need an alarm clock to wake up. We're here 7 days a week. This is a company that my dad started 40 years ago. So when we were first born, we were brought home in that Mustang limousine. So that is the first car we've ever ridden in. My dad built that car, and we didn't go home. We came here to Mustang Restorations first to meet the crew of guys. So this is our first stop. This is home to us. We're here 7 days a week. We love what we do. If we didn't have bills to pay, we wouldn't need a paycheck to do any of this stuff. It's all passion.
And not only that, you know, we're 29 years old. So we're the young generation. We're trying to keep this Mustang legacy alive, not only the Mustang legacy, but the classic car community alive. We want people to get out in their garage with their dad's old car, fix it up, and, you know, enjoy the passion that we feel. And that's what we were trying to spread.
Yeah.
Did you say that your dad is Chris Doc?
Yes.
Yeah. Doc, right?
Yeah.
He goes by the Doc, Ingrassia. So did you say that your dad took you from the hospital to the garage afterwards?
Absolutely.
Or he took you home?
Came here first. We had to meet the crew of guys. We had to kind of instill where we're going to be for the rest of our life here, and it worked. And we've been here every day for the most part since we can hold a wrench in our hand. I mean, my dad has had us working around these cars. Blessed to still be able to have him here with us, not doing as much work as he used to, but it's great to be able to work with him as well.
Oh, he's got to be proud of his boys, the Mustang brothers. I think that's the coolest story ever. He had to take you to meet the guys, meet his crew. Tell me a little bit about your dad, the Doc.
He's a great guy. You know, he's all passion. He's driven. My dad eats, sleeps, and breathes Mustangs. And he instilled that on us. You know, growing up, you know, kids were outside playing baseball, hanging out, playing video games, or sleeping in. at 10 years old, Cody and I were down here learning how to rebuild cylinder heads or take apart an engine or start welding. We took autos classes in high school and stuff, but you know, we breezed by that because we already knew the game by then. But
and my dad, he's old school Italian, so he's got a fire and a drive in him. So on go mode 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year. So that gives us our drive. So we have that passion, that drive to just we don't slack off. We get right to it and we get it done and we move on to the next thing. Get right to it, get it done, move on to the next thing. So my dad's full of knowledge. He's known as the doctor of restoration because everybody that brings him their cars, he's pretty much a doctor to bring it back to life. And if I could be half the man that guy is, I think I'd be in good standing.
That's so cool. You guys love him, and it sounds like he loves you. What a cool family you have, and what a great business. How much fun it would to be kids and to be able to put together a car, and to work on cars. I mean, if you think most kids were probably playing with Hot Wheels or Lincoln Logs or Legos, but you guys are actually working on cars. That's really cool. Tell me, why did your dad? I mean, you fix and restore other cars. I know that, but you specialize in Mustangs, and that's what you mainly, would you say 99% of the time work on is Mustangs?
Yeah. So my grandpa bought a 1968 Mustang brand new from the factory, and that was his everyday driver. And moving down the line, my dad got older. He got 16. He wanted to drive, so he learned on the Mustang. And he worked at a gas station with my grandpa, started learning the Mustang. Guys saw the Mustang there. They started bringing their Mustang. And my dad went to my mom and said, "Hey, I'm gonna sell my daily driver to pay my first month's rent on a building to start a Mustang company, and we'll see how it goes." And my mom said, "Well, how many Mustangs can there be out there?" Well, 42 years later, we're still in business, and we're the largest from around the world, and we get cars shipped from Dubai and England and everywhere, and we're just very lucky that my dad didn't start with a VW.
Yeah, well, if he had, he probably would have been working on mine, because mine was, my first car was a VW. I wanted a Mustang, but I couldn't afford one. I wanted a Dodge Charger and a Camaro. I wanted all three. Those were the three, and I still want all three of those. But the Mustang, I think, with Shelby was my favorite. It was just we drove around town and you just feel cool. You are cool. The car is cool. It smells great. It runs great. It's so fast. I mean, it's just you guys know you're lucky. You get to drive right in them all day long. But
a car is, when you get behind the wheel of a classic car, time stops. You're not focused on anything else. You have to drive a classic car. It doesn't have sensors and stuff that a new car has. So you're physically driving an old school car, and you tend to kind of just block out the rest of the world. You go for a drive, you go for a nice cruise, go for some ice cream. And that right there within itself, if you've never done that, try it. Talk to a buddy that's got one and go out for a ride. It is one of the best feelings you can really have. And it's part of the life that people don't really understand until they do it. And it's really beautiful.
It's funny too, because, we live, breathe Mustangs, but our personal collection is mostly not Mustangs. We have like the General Lee, Starsky and Hutch, Smoking the Bandit, Mad Max. We got a huge collection of cars that aren't Mustangs, just because, we do work around them all day, every day. And it's nice to get into something different, but it's still a classic.
Hey guys, I got to take a real quick break, but I'm going to take it real fast because I want to, not as fast as a Mustang. Okay, here now I'm doing the cheesy dad jokes. But yeah, we're going to take a quick break and we're going to come right back with the Mustang brothers Cody and Preston and Ingrassia from NBC's Hot Wheels Ultimate Challenge. They're the Carpool. You can find and check out more about restored Mustangs and the business at Mustang Restorations. Go to mustangrestorations.com and / the Mustang brothers to find out more about these cool guys, Cody and Preston, and on Instagram at Mustang_restorations, on Facebook at Mustang Restorations Inc. Just go to the website. You'll find it all right there. And watch Hot Wheels Ultimate Challenge Tuesdays at 10/9 Central on NBC, and the next day streaming on Peacock. We'll be right back with the Mustang brothers, Cody and Preston Ingrassia. Stay with us.